Everyone is asking the same question about Alex Eala right now. What is really behind her incredible speed on the court? Behind every explosive sprint, every impossible recovery, and every breathtaking rally lies a training program that most fans never get to see. Now, the coach who helped build that foundation has finally revealed what it truly takes. This is not hype or exaggeration. It is a real story of how a teenager from Manila transformed herself into one of the fastest movers in professional tennis. For years, Alex Eala was known as a determined fighter, a relentless competitor, and a young talent from Quezon City who first picked up a tennis racket at just 4 years old after her grandfather introduced her to the sport. But somewhere between winning her early ITF titles and breaking into the WTA Top 100, something remarkable changed. The word most often associated with her name was no longer just talent, it was speed. Anyone who has watched her recent matches understands exactly why. She chases down shots that should have been clean winners, recovers from impossible positions with astonishing quickness, and closes a distance to the net before her opponents even realize what is happening. She consistently reaches balls that, on paper, seem completely out of reach. Commentators began highlighting her movement. Opponents started experiencing it firsthand. And fans everywhere asked the same question: how did a promising young player suddenly become one of the fastest athletes on the WTA Tour? The truth is, it did not happen overnight. The transformation began years earlier in Manacor, Spain, inside the Rafa Nadal Academy, where Eala has trained since she was just 12 years old. Built on the philosophy of one of tennis' greatest movers, the academy has always believed that speed, agility, and physical conditioning deserve the same attention as forehands and backhands. From the very beginning, her foundation was carefully developed under the guidance of her first academy coach, Daniel Gomez, whose training philosophy emphasized relentless consistency, unwavering mental focus, and disciplined daily improvement. Qualities that would eventually shape Alex Eala into the exceptional athlete the tennis world sees today. Physical conditioning became just as important as technical skill. Long before Alex Eala's name appeared on the WTA rankings, she was already being molded into an athlete who understood that footwork was never just a supplement to her game. It was a foundation of it. That early philosophy explains why her rapid rise made perfect sense to the people who had watched it develop, even as it surprised everyone else. The version of Eala that fans see today is not the product of a single breakthrough season or sudden growth spurt. It is a result of deliberate, methodical, and almost obsessive training process that very few players are willing to endure. When members of her team finally began discussing what that process actually involved, it completely changed the way many people viewed her game. So how did a promising junior become one of the most dangerous movers on the WTA Tour? The answer begins with an intense pre-season training block ahead of the 2025 season, when her coaches made a bold decision that, from the outside, looked almost extreme. They brought in Alejandro Sandro Vina from the Rafa Nadal Academy and immediately subjected Eala to one of the most demanding off-season programs of her career. There was no gradual build-up. Instead, she faced double tennis sessions and double fitness sessions every day, training morning and afternoon with the sole objective of pushing her body beyond its comfort zone. Speaking to ABS-CBN News, Vina described the two-week training block as incredibly demanding, saying the days were long but the team considered the camp highly productive and were extremely pleased with the results. Those carefully chosen words revealed just how significant that period was. This was not an ordinary off-season designed to maintain fitness. It was a calculated investment aimed at transforming Eala from a talented counterpuncher into a player capable of physically dominating matches. Her coaches understood that at the highest level of women's tennis, talent alone is never enough. The WTA Tour is full of players with exceptional shot-making ability, but what often separates the top 30 from the rest of the field is far less glamorous. Explosive first steps, lightning-fast recovery, relentless endurance, and the ability to maintain peak intensity deep into deciding sets. Eala's team knew those qualities could only be developed through grueling preparation that pushes athletes to their physical and mental limits. The transformation did not end there. Around the same time, her performance program expanded further with the addition of Luke Balzar, a medical fitness coach from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Balzar's role went far beyond routine conditioning. He was brought in to oversee Eala's physical preparation during the most demanding periods of her season, including her build-up to her high-profile Wimbledon 2026 match against Iga Swiatek. Assigning a specialist of that caliber to her fitness program demonstrated just how seriously her team approached every detail of her development. It reflected a long-term commitment to ensuring that when the biggest moments arrived, Eala would not only possess the technical skills to compete with the world's best, but also the strength, endurance, and speed to match them point for point. This was never guesswork. It was engineering. Every sprint, every recovery run, every lateral movement drill was carefully designed with a specific purpose, to ensure that when Alex Eala stepped onto the court against the world's best players, her body would be fully prepared to match their pace from the first point to the last. It did not take long for the tennis world to notice the difference. As the 2025 season unfolded and carried into 2026, Eala's matches began to look completely different. She was no longer just competing. She was moving with the confidence and efficiency of an athlete who had spent months rebuilding every aspect of her physical game. The breakthrough that showcased her transformation came at the Miami Open, where she defeated world number 25 and 2017 French Open champion Jelena Ostapenko in straight sets, earning the first top 30 victory of her career. It was not a lucky performance fueled by one exceptional day. It was a result of relentless preparation and remarkable court coverage that even experienced opponents struggled to handle. Analysts immediately began breaking down her movement. Fans flooded social media with highlight clips of her incredible speed and recovery, and Rafael Nadal himself publicly congratulated her, describing it as a tremendous victory for both Eala and the Philippines. When the founder of the academy where you train recognizes your performance, it sends a powerful message about how significant that achievement truly was. More importantly, the improvement did not end with one tournament. Throughout the season, Eala continued to display the same explosive movement as she climbed to a career-high ranking and challenged opponents who had previously overpowered her physically. She looked increasingly comfortable in long, demanding rallies that once drained her energy, proving that her transformation was not temporary but fundamental. The conversation around her career quickly shifted from admiration to curiosity. Fans, analysts, and media outlets all wanted to understand exactly what had changed. Was there a revolutionary training method? A secret conditioning program? Some hidden formula inside the Rafa Nadal Academy that had unlocked a completely new level of athleticism? That curiosity only intensified after Joan Bosch became more prominent as a traveling coach. Bosch brought an impressive resume, having helped guide Carlos Moya to both a Davis Cup title and the world #1 ranking. More than a tactical strategist, Bosch had earned a reputation for developing complete athletes capable of combining technical excellence with elite physical performance. His presence in Eala's coaching box convinced many observers that her remarkable improvement was no coincidence. It was a product of a proven development system led by coaches who had built champions before. As the victories continued to accumulate and her ranking steadily climbed, the question was no longer whether Alex Eala was getting faster. It was how much she had sacrificed to reach that level. The demanding off-season program that included double tennis sessions, double fitness sessions, and weeks of relentless workload naturally raised concerns. Such extreme training can carry significant risks, including overtraining, burnout, and the injuries that have derailed countless young athletes chasing success too quickly. It is a delicate balance that every elite tennis academy must manage carefully, pushing an athlete beyond their limits while protecting the long-term health that ultimately determines how far their talent can take them. The Rafa Nadal Academy is no exception to this challenge. Alex Eala's rise has not simply been about developing talent. It has been treated as something much more intentional. In the words of her coach Joan Bosch, she became a special project. The phrase was meant as a compliment, highlighting the belief that Eala possesses rare potential. But it also reveals another reality. When an athlete becomes a project, the expectations and pressure to produce results can become enormous. Bosch himself acknowledged how carefully planned Eala's development has been, describing her as a young, talented player who still has plenty of room to grow. In his view, that is exactly the purpose of the process. Even after reaching career-high ranking and defeating some of the biggest names in the sport, her team continues to see her as an unfinished athlete, a player still being developed physically, mentally, and tactically one match at a time. That perspective carries two different meanings. On one side, it shows a coaching team that refuses to become satisfied with early success. They continue searching for improvement instead of allowing achievements to create complacency. But on the other side, it highlights a reality that Eala is still a young athlete carrying extraordinary expectations, undergoing intense training, medical fitness supervision, and constant attention at a level most players her age never experience. When you're at the physical demands of a full WTA season, the hard court of Miami, the long clay court battles across Europe, and the explosive movement required on grass at Wimbledon, the challenge becomes even greater. Each surface requires a different type of speed, endurance, and recovery. The physical gains created during an intense preseason block do not eliminate the possibility of fatigue, injuries, or burnout during months of global travel and competition. Yet despite those challenges, the results have continued to appear. Higher rankings, breakthrough victories, and performances against some of the best players in the world. To truly understand Eala's transformation, the answer comes not from outside speculation but from listening to the people who have been part of the process. And when the noise is removed, there is no secret shortcut, no magical drill, and no hidden formula. The foundation is something much simpler, but much harder to achieve: philosophy. Daniel Gomez, the coach who helped shape Eala during her earliest years, explained that one of her greatest strengths was not just her physical ability, but her mindset. He highlighted her willingness to listen, learn, and absorb advice from every coach around her. More than anything, he pointed to a constant hunger for improvement, a drive that remained even after she achieved milestones many young players only dream about. That hunger is a common thread connecting every person involved in her journey. Gomez building the foundation, Sandro Vina pushing her through demanding preseason programs, Luke Balzar designing conditioning around the biggest moments of her career, and Joan Bosch bringing the experience of someone who has helped develop elite champions. Above all, there is the influence of Tony Nadal, the uncle and longtime coach of Rafael Nadal, whose guidance has added another layer of discipline, adaptability, and mental strength to Eala's development. Eala herself has spoken about the importance of learning from Nadal's approach, especially his unmatched focus, composure under pressure, and ability to compete regardless of the circumstances. These qualities are not simply things she admires. They are principles she continues to study and apply as she builds her own path in professional tennis. That is a part that is easiest to overlook in a story often framed around secrets, speed, and sudden transformation. Alex Eala's physical evolution did not happen in isolation. It happened because a naturally talented and highly coachable athlete placed herself in the hands of people who had already developed champions, then committed herself to the countless hours of difficult work that rarely receive attention or applause. There is no single magic drill behind Eala's speed. There is no shortcut, no hidden technique, and no secret formula that her team is keeping from the world. When her coaches explain the process honestly, the reality is far less mysterious but far more impressive. It is built on structure, sacrifice, discipline, and an athlete willing to be challenged beyond her comfort zone every single day. That is a true story behind the headlines, not a secret, but a system, and a 19-year-old player who fully committed herself to it. The next time you watch Alex Eala chase down a shot that appears impossible to reach, remember everything that made that moment possible. Remember the long training days described by Vina. Remember Balzar carefully managing her physical preparation before the biggest matches of her career. Remember Bosch describing her as a special project and understanding the responsibility behind those words. Because every incredible sprint, every impossible recovery, and every moment of brilliance on court is a result of years of preparation that happened long before the cameras started watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the real story behind Alex Eala's rise, make sure to subscribe for more detailed tennis stories and behind-the-scenes breakdowns. Her journey is far from over, and the biggest chapters may still be ahead. The question now is simple. Will this physical transformation become the foundation that pushes Alex Eala into the world's top 10, or will the demands of reaching that level create new challenges along the way?